Story 1. I have always hated typing out my email address or phone number, but now I use text replacements like @, and my email just pops up. All I have to do is tap it. Story 2. You can move your finger left or right on the spacebar to move the cursor to the position where you want to enter the next letter. You can move the cursor backward and forward. Story 3. On iPhones, there is an option called Vehicle Motion Cues. If you turn it on to automatic, whenever you are in a moving vehicle, a series of black dots will appear on the sides of your phone moving with you. This helps reduce motion sickness when you are reading something on your phone. My wife experiences severe motion sickness in the car, so if I am driving and ask her to look up a restaurant or something, she would feel nauseous within a minute or so. Now she uses her phone normally. It is not foolproof, but from my perspective, it is amazing. Story 4. You can make a phone call by holding the phone up to your ear rather than holding it in front of your face. Story 5. I have only met one Android user, not including myself, who knows what Quick Share is. Yet, every iOS user knows what AirDrop is. Quick Share is the Android equivalent of AirDrop. Story 6. Using the Modes and Routines feature on Android phones, I have the following automation. 1. My garage door opens automatically when I arrive home. My wallpaper changes to a more appropriate one when I am at work and returns to the original once I leave. I have created shortcuts on my home screen to perform certain actions, such as turning lights on or off. These are just some examples of what I use this feature for. You can do much more with it that many users do not know about. Hope this helps. Story 7. You can block ads from opening the Google Play Store very easily on Android. You can change which apps open specific links. For example, by default, YouTube links open with the YouTube app, Reddit links open with the Reddit app, and so on. This process is automatic, but you can change it manually. To block ads from opening the Google Play Store, advertisements typically open a link to the Google Play Store, and you can block that. This way, ads will no longer open the App Store when you click them. Instead, nothing will happen. Go to Settings, Apps, Google Play Store, Defaults, and then turn off Open Supported Links. I figured this out myself and am very proud. Story 8. In your camera, you can zoom in and out across the full range of available millimeters, from wide angle to the maximum digital zoom, by simply holding your finger on the current lens setting. This setting is located at the bottom of the screen, above the shutter button on an iPhone. This feature also works on Android phones. Story 9. Almost all Android phones with Android 14 or newer have a Google application feature called Circle to Search. You can search what is on your screen, like reverse searching an image or selecting certain text to copy or search. Can even read text from a photo. Story 10. iPhone Calculator has a converter option. Hold down the bottom left button and slide it to convert. You can convert to metric units, euros, United States dollars, and more. Story 11. You can search your photo gallery. For example, search for birthday and get related pictures. It will even find pictures of documents where the word you search for appears. Story 12. On Android phones, if you go into Settings, About Phone, Software Information, and tap the build number field 8 times quickly and enter your PIN, you will unlock developer options. Go back into Settings, and at the very bottom, you should see a new developer options field. This provides many options to customize how your phone works on a technical level and allows you to enable or disable features such as GPS, updates, and overclocking. There is probably something similar on Apple phones or most other phones. Story 13. If you have an iPhone and want to exchange contact information with someone else's iPhone, make sure both phones are unlocked. Touch the phones together for a second. You will be prompted to share information. Then the process is complete. Story 14. You can scan documents with your camera application. Just point it at any paper, and it will automatically detect the edges, straighten the document, and save it as a clean portable document format file. Most people still take photos of documents as if it were 2010, even though their phone essentially has a portable scanner built in. Story 15. The iPhone has a built-in app for white noise. To turn on white noise on your iPhone, navigate to Settings, then Accessibility, then audio/visual, and finally background sounds. Toggle on background sounds. You can then choose your preferred sound, such as balanced noise, bright noise, or dark noise. You can also access this feature through Control Center by adding the background sounds button. This would have saved my musical apps history when I was a new mom. Now it saves me from hearing Jerry chew through lunch at his desk or at family functions. Story 16. On Android, double tapping the application button will switch to your last active application. Double tap again to switch back. Story 17. I'm amazed that people don't know that Android has had multitask split screen for years. Just hit the Running Applications button and click its icon over the preview. Then select another running app. Or swipe up with 3 fingers if you have that enabled. I use it all the time. Notes on the top screen, calculator on the bottom. Video on top, notes on the bottom. Navigation on top, music app on the bottom. Most apps allow this. Apple iPhone still can't do this, only Apple iPad. Sure, some apps have a floating overlay, but most apps can do split screen with all features. It's just not the same as the less feature overlay window. I use this so often that I just can't have an Apple iPhone as my daily carry. Story 18. Guided access. I recently learned about this feature. You can lock into an application or game so that your toddler cannot exit it or access other applications, settings, or take pictures. Story 19. Magnifier. It can zoom in decently for both enlarging something close like a magnifying glass or far away like binoculars. I have an iPhone, but I am fairly sure Android phones have something similar. Story 20. Google introduced an earthquake detection system in Android phones. If multiple phones detect shaking simultaneously, all phones in the surrounding region are notified of an imminent earthquake. It happened once on my phone, which made a loud, audible beep despite being on silent. Story 21. I was on the phone with my mother and pressed a symbol to see if it was voice boost or something. It loudly announced that it would be recording the call in 5 seconds, and my mother freaked out. Story 22. Google Routines is impressive. Walk into a room and the lights come on. Have a simple Wi-Fi plug and set it to brew your coffee when you wake up. The list is endless, especially if you explore Google Labs. I have a custom red alert routine that turns all my lights red and starts playing the original Star Trek on the television. Story 23. People still do not understand that your phone can act as an internet router, turning your data plan into Wi-Fi you can connect to with a laptop or other devices. This feature is called a hotspot. It is not the best option, as you are turning your phone into a device that specialized routers, which can cost hundreds of dollars, perform better. However, it is good enough for most uses. Story 24. Routines for Samsung devices, with an iPhone equivalent available, though unclear for other Android devices. Examples I use: text me 911 or a pre-selected word to take my phone off silent or vibrate mode and set all volumes to maximum. This is very useful if you cannot find your phone and it is always on vibrate. Double press the power button to turn smart lights off. Set media volume, speaker only, to 0 when I am at work to avoid accidentally playing embarrassing audio. Change screen timeout when the Notes application is open. Use NFC tags to perform actions, such as opening the garage door with one placed in the car. A prank by a friend. They added their fingerprint to unlock my phone. I created a routine where the phone yells at them and locks itself again if that fingerprint is used. Story 25. Double tap the back of your phone to take a screenshot like a secret agent. Most people have no idea this exists. Story 26. Android phones can have artificial intelligence answer the call, find out what it is about, and provide a live transcript on screen. You can then decide to answer the call, get the artificial intelligence to ask more questions, or hang up. It is amazing. I have not answered a single spam call in months. Story 27. Swipe keyboard. Do not take your finger off the screen, but trace out the pattern for each word on the keyboard. Story 28. 1. A built-in TV remote application, mostly for Android, that can connect to most TVs or other appliances. On iPhone, the back tap feature is one that mostly goes unnoticed. It is hidden in the accessibility settings, but you can set it so a double or triple tap on the back of your phone performs different actions, like taking a screenshot, opening the camera, or turning on the flashlight. It basically gives you an extra secret button. Story 29. These comments are really helpful. Every year, Apple and Google each release updated versions of their mobile operating systems. They hold developer conferences and keynote presentations to show off the new features. They even live stream those keynote presentations and post them online. Apple holds the Worldwide Developers Conference, and Google holds Google Input-Output. I am not a developer, but I do watch the presentation for my phone platform. Why? So I can learn about some of the new features, see them in action, and use them from day one, not find out about them by accident years later or on Reddit. I really think it is worth spending an hour of your time once a year to do this. Story 30. Every iPhone has automations. I have a button for getting me the next bus to school. Then when I approach campus, my ringer automatically goes silent. I have a button for forwarding my friend the last screenshot I took and generating a grid of the music album covers I have listened to that week. You can even go as far as automating smart home devices. Apple has essentially made an iPhone programming language. Story 31. You can use your phone's camera as a scanner, measure objects with augmented reality, or even identify songs just by humming. Story 32. The number of easily searchable questions I am asked by grown adults is mind-blowing. Story 33. Medical identification information or in case of emergency. Information available through the lock screen via the emergency call option. It can include emergency contacts, medical conditions, medication, date of birth, allergies, and other notes. Story 34. On the iPhone, take a picture of something, a plant or an insect, and then tap the info button in the bottom center. It will identify the object and allow you to look it up. This is helpful when you think, what a pretty flower. I wonder what kind it is. Or, that's an interesting bird. Never seen that before. Or, this insect looks dangerous. What is it? Oh my, it's a tarantula hawk wasp. Stay safe. Our weapons are useless against it. Story 35. In Android, Quick Share works similarly to Apple AirDrop but requires Bluetooth to be turned on. For Chinese models of Xiaomi, Xiaomi Share works similarly and can share between international models and Chinese models. To convert from JPEG or PNG to PDF, share the image to print, then save as PDF. From the gallery, share the image to Google Lens to translate or copy text from the image. From the gallery, share the image to Google Lens or scanner to scan QR codes or barcodes. If you have Link to Windows installed and connected to your laptop, click Share, then send to PC to share images to your laptop. Alternatively, if you have Quick Share installed on a laptop, you can extend its usage to the laptop as well. If you have ChatGPT installed, directly share the image to ChatGPT to open a new chat with the image. If you are connected to Wi-Fi and your printer is connected to the router, you can print images or documents directly from your phone's Android print service. If you have a Miracast-capable smart TV connected to Wi-Fi, you can cast directly from your phone to the TV through the gallery. If you have Google Home installed on your phone, you can cast to a Chromecast-capable TV from the app. If you have Link to Windows installed and set up, you can use your smartphone as a camera for your laptop. Set this up through the Link to Windows application on your laptop, and it will become accessible through any websites or applications. If you have Bluetooth-connected devices paired with your phone, such as a smartwatch or earbuds, you can use the proximity feature to keep your phone unlocked when the devices are nearby. For the Xiaomi Mi Band, you can set how close you want the unlock feature to work. At the closest setting, the phone only unlocks if you tap your smart band on the phone, providing convenience and security. These are the features I can recall right now. I will share more if I remember any. Story 36. I recently got a new phone and was excited to see that it has a feature where I can constantly share my location with somebody. It's a little stalkery, but knowing my husband and I can find each other at the press of a button is doing wonders for our feelings of safety these days. I also have it set up so that if I press the power button 5 times, my phone will start sending location, audio, and photos to an emergency contact and the police. If I press the power button twice, the flashlight comes on. Story 37. You can make a phone call in public without using the speakerphone. It allows for privacy and is courteous to others. Story 38. They have a small speaker at the top that you hold to your ear during conversation. You do not have to use loudspeaker all the time. Story 39. There are white noise sounds you can play to help you fall asleep programmed into iPhones. There is no need to pay for those applications. Story 40. You can download movies or other content directly on an Android device. Almost every Samsung device can be used as a mini computer when connected to a larger display, featuring a Windows-like graphical user interface. Story 41. The ability to sync headphones so others nearby do not need to listen to your music or both sides of your conversation. Story 42. Double tap and drag allows you to zoom in and out on Google Maps or Apple Maps with one finger. I just painfully watched someone double tap multiple times to zoom in. That was awful. Story 43. Do not do this unless it is an emergency. If your phone is completely powered off and you need to call emergency services, pressing the power button several times will automatically connect you without waiting for your phone to fully power on first. Story 44. On iOS, when you see a list, such as emails, you can swipe on that list with 2 fingers to select and delete or take other actions on multiple items at once. This feature is very helpful. Story 45. On iPhones, there is a small black bar permanently located at the bottom of the screen. You can scroll between open applications by sliding your finger across it from left to right. Additionally, I have set Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer as my shortcut application on the Quick Action button. Story 46. Android. You can install Firefox with extensions AdBlock and Background Video Fix. And just like that, you have YouTube Premium for free. Story 47. Android has a built-in frequency modulation radio receiver. Plug in wired earbuds to use as an antenna. Open the frequency modulation radio application and listen to local radio stations. Story 48. If you use an iPhone, you can toggle reduced white point so that when it is nighttime and your phone looks too bright, it will dim it beyond the usual screen brightness slider. It is helpful when you are trying to wind down for bed by limiting blue light and brightness. To enable this, go to Accessibility Settings, then click Display and Text Size. You can add it to accessibility shortcuts so you only need to triple-click the power button instead of navigating through all the settings each time you want to toggle it. Story 49. It took me a while to find out my phone could take screenshots, and even then I had to get someone to explain how. Story 50. For Android 12 and later users, your phone has one-handed mode built in. It shrinks the screen so you can reach everything with just your thumb. Go to Settings, then Advanced Features, then one-handed mode, and choose how to activate it. Either double-tap the home button or swipe down from the bottom center of your screen. Story 51. On iOS, anytime you have a text entry box, you can tap and hold to open the menu. If you select Autofill, you can use the camera to scan text and tap it to enter the text into the field. Story 52. Both iPhone and Android have anti-theft settings, off by default, which can lock your phone if it detects sudden movement, such as your phone being snatched from you on the street. Story 53. Man, I was mind-blown when I realized my phone has a hidden magnifier feature. You can use your camera to zoom in on tiny text or details. Took me forever to notice it even existed, but it has saved me more times than I can count. Story 54. You can use Bluetooth to connect these earbuds. This allows you to listen to your music or video without disturbing anyone else. Story 55. Zooming in and out. At least on Android, you do not have to use 2 fingers to zoom in and out. Simply double-tap the screen, hold on the second tap, and move your finger up or down. Story 56. I do not know if Apple does this, but on my Samsung phone, you can look up numbers from the dial pad instead of going into contacts. For example, if I want to call Steve, I can dial STEVE 78383, and his contact will show up. I then just tap it, and the dialed entry gets replaced with Steve's number. Story 57. You do not have to listen to WhatsApp audios in speaker mode. This annoys me a lot. You can just play the audio and use the phone as if you were making a phone call, and you will hear the audio privately and comfortably. Story 58. It can transmit the sound of your voice, so you do not have to scream to be heard hundreds of miles away. Story 59. The accelerometer and force sensor measure the speed and impact force when you throw your phone hard onto the cement. This function works only once per event. Story 60. The built-in compass and level are useful. A great feature of newer iPhones is the virtual tape measure that shows dimensions of real-world objects captured with the camera. This is helpful for various applications. Story 61. I love Good Lock on my Samsung. I set my lock button to double tap for the camera and long press for the torch. Both work whether the phone is locked or not. I was also able to use Good Lock to create a sidebar that appears when I swipe from the very right of the screen. It allows me to add 6 apps, a ruler, a compass, and shortcuts to watch app functions. Samsung DeX was a great substitute until I got my laptop. I was able to use more than 8 apps at once, similar to Windows on a desktop, while still using my phone as normal. I can hold the space bar and move the cursor in any direction. Holding down the home button enables Google Lens with easy reverse image search, on-screen translating, Shazam, and text selection. I can use multiple apps at once, either side by side, stacked, or over other apps, with window size and transparency options. Also, it serves as a mini portable PlayStation 2. I love my phone. Story 62. I do not know how many people already know this, but I recently figured it out. Google Lens, which is installed by default on a Pixel phone, allows you to translate text, copy and paste text, and search images in real time using your phone's camera. Story 63. iPhones can identify plants. In the camera app, take a picture of a plant. Then scroll up on the photo to view the information. There will be a small link to identify the plant. Story 64. You can set up an emergency list on your lock screen. It can include numbers you can call with the phone locked, as well as information like blood type, allergies, and other health-related emergency details. You just need to set it up in the phone settings. Story 65. You can search for things in your phone's gallery like you are doing a Google search. I went to Costco and wanted to activate the membership card on my phone because I had forgotten my wallet with the physical card in it. I went to the counter, and the employee asked if I had any form of identification. I said no, I had forgotten my wallet. She said, "Get your phone out, go to your gallery, and search for your name as you have probably taken a photo of your passport or driving license before." I searched my name, and a photo of my driving license appeared, which she accepted as identification. It amazed me, and I have used this method a few times since. Story 66. On iPhones, if you need to draw on a picture, for example, a circle, when you draw the circle, keep your finger on the screen and it will turn it into a perfect circle. This also works for arrows, stars, squares, hearts, and other shapes. Story 67. You can turn your iPhone into grayscale in your phone settings, which helps reduce the desire to check it frequently during the day. Go to Settings, then Accessibility, then Display and Text Size, and select Color Filters. Toggle on Color Filters, then choose Grayscale. Story 68. Use the Firefox mobile browser with the ad blocker extension and thank me later. It removes all kinds of ads from web pages. Story 69. Here's a tip for the person at the restaurant. Your phone has a feature where you can put it next to your ear, making the voice quieter and less likely to annoy others. It also helps you appear more considerate. Story 70. Microphone at the bottom and small speaker at the top. You can hold the phone to your ear and only you will hear the other person, and they will hear you without the need to speak loudly. Story 71. I do not know, but it seems everybody I have told had no idea. I hope it is helpful. If you use WhatsApp and are not using earphones while listening to a voice note, you can just put the phone on your ear as if making a call. The audio switches to call mode and the screen also turns off. This is a nice way to listen to voice notes in public without disturbing other people. I have not tried this on other apps, so you can try and see if it works. Story 72. On an iPhone, you can take pictures of any plant, flower, pet, animal, landmark, or other object, then swipe up on the photo. The iPhone will identify the object and provide additional pictures, Wikipedia information, and links. This feature is called Visual Lookup. Story 73. If you have an iPhone and say, "Hey, Siri, whose phone is this?" she will tell you and require the personal identification number to unlock the phone. This is helpful if law enforcement is trying to use your face to break into your phone. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.